Hello, welcome back to Hot Girls Can't Drive. I'm your host, Bree. Happy Halloweekend. It's been a while since I recorded an episode. If you're on YouTube right now, you're probably like, Bree, what is going on? Where do I even start? I was like, okay, I'm recording this on Halloween. It's Halloween night. And I wanted to wear my Halloween costume. Um, I was two different. I had two different Halloween costumes. Friday night I was Cinderella, and then Saturday night I was Rapunzel. So this is my Rapunzel corset. I wanted to wear my Cinderella dress just because I feel like that's not as weird as me wearing a corset and recording an online video. But she was dirty. So this is what you get. I have a skirt on, but you can't see it. And these sunglasses I stole from a bar at Key West, and I thought that was so camp if I wear them. But it probably looks so funny because I'm like wearing this corset with these black glasses. But I was like, bye, I have to wear those because that's just so funny. Where to even begin? Where do I even start? So I didn't post a recording or an episode last weekend. So the last time we talked, I was back home, which literally feels like forever ago. That was like 2 weeks ago. And I was talking with my friend Grace. And then I flew home, or back to Miami, I guess. And then that next weekend, I had a swim meet in Tampa, which was so crazy in of itself. We literally left around 3 p.m. Friday. I drove 5 hours to Tampa, and then we spent the night in Tampa Friday night. I didn't go out. I was so tired. This was literally so lame of me, but I drove all the way to Tampa because I had to drive all these kids because I have a car down here. We spent the night in Tampa, woke up, went to the swim meet at the University of Tampa, and then I left. I dipped right after the meet, and we drove back home, and which is so lame. Like, I actually drove to go to the swim meet, which most kids, like, wanted to go out and, like, spend time in Tampa, but we were there for, like, less than 24 hours. It was insane. So by the time I got back Sunday, I was dead. Like, that Sunday, I didn't leave my dorm the entire day. I was so tired. I was exhausted. And it's been, like, crazy. Like, every weekend so far has been so crazy for me, and it's not going to calm down. So last weekend was Tampa. This weekend was Halloweekend, which, don't worry, we'll get into that. It was insane for me. This coming weekend, I have a 2-day home meet here at the University of Miami. So it's, like, it's split up between 2 different days. And then next weekend, I'm going to St. Croix for an open water swim, a club swim. And then I'm pretty sure after that is Thanksgiving. So, like, I have literally been running around every single weekend, but I love it. I feel so, like, young. Like, I'm like, this is exactly what I wanted to be doing. This is why I came to Miami, because of all these insane opportunities. Like, what other school do kids go to Key West for Halloween? Like, it's insane, and it's so much fun, and we'll get into that. Like, I don't even know where to start with this episode. I don't have a plan. I was just like, I have so many things I want to talk about, and we're here to chat. First, I'm just welcome. We also didn't discuss the setting. If you're on YouTube, we're in my room, not in my car. I was a little bit worried to be sitting, because I record in the parking garage on campus, and I was a little bit worried someone would be walking past my car, seeing me holding a microphone in a corset, and be like, what kind of video is she making? So I was like, probably better to be in my room. My roommate's not here right now, but I don't know when she's going to come back. So I have this blanket, so if she comes in, I can just be like, oh, and she won't see, because she's probably going to be like, what is she doing if she sees me in a corset making a video? But she doesn't get it. It's Halloween. She might be going out for Halloween. A lot of kids are going out tonight. I'm like, I don't fucking know how y'all do it. I went out this weekend, and I felt like that was enough. Like, it's a Tuesday night. I don't need to be going out. I got school in the morning. But it is Miami, and kids will they'll have any excuse to go out on a weeknight. Not me, but y'all have fun with that. And I have this microphone. I literally bought this microphone off of Amazon because I was like, I'm going to have amazing sound quality. I talk about in every episode how my sound quality is bad, and I got a microphone, and I finally got this microphone, and I cannot figure out how to connect it to my Mac because it has, like, an aux cord, and I put it in, and the Mac just, like, isn't showing up, if that makes sense. So this is the Marantz professional microphone. It doesn't even work. I'm just using it for the aesthetic. But if anyone can help me figure out how to connect this, it literally just has an aux cord hit me up, DM me on Instagram at BreeBFish. That would be so great because it wasn't even that expensive, girl, why? It was like $35. That was expensive for me though. I spent $35 on this microphone and it still doesn't work. But I feel like at this point, the sound quality, that's just like my MO. Like, this is like definitely not a expensive ass podcast. It's literally just me sitting in my room or in my car. I had this flower crown I was gonna wear because of Rapunzel. Like, my outfit was this crown, this corset, and then a white skirt, but my hair was wet because we had swim practice earlier today. We had swim practice at like 8. It's like 10 now. My hair takes forever to dry, so I pulled it back, so that's why I don't have this on. But just know that this would have been part of my outfit. I posted pictures on my Instagram if you want to go see it. But where to even begin? Well, first off, let's talk about what the fuck happened tonight, Halloween night. I wanted to record this episode earlier today because I was like, oh, I can post it like tonight for Halloween night. I wanted to record this Sunday. I was in Key West, so I didn't record an episode this Sunday. That's why I'm recording on Wednesday. And I wanted to record this episode earlier today, but I fell asleep because I was exhausted. I took a nap earlier, and then I had swim practice, so that's why my hair is wet, and that's why I'm recording this the day after Halloween. But if you went out tonight, or last night, I guess, when you're listening to this, you probably don't even know what fucking day it is, so it's fine. I'm also really scared about recording this episode in my room because the walls in my broke-ass, old-ass dorm are extremely thin, so I feel like the people next to me are probably gonna be like, who the fuck is she talking to right now? So if they can hear me, sorry about it. Okay, anyways, so let's talk about today, specifically, Halloween. Literally so spooky, so scary. This just happened to me like an hour ago, everyone. An hour ago, this just happened to me. So I called my mom after swim practice. I went to the dining hall, and then I called my mom because I wanted to like talk to her because it's Halloween. I wanted to wish her a happy Halloween. And when I talk on the phone, I like to walk in circles. I don't know, that's just like my thing. Like, I like to walk around when I'm talking. So I was just walking in circles around like my dorm building, and I was literally on the phone with my mom talking about how like I went to Key West this weekend and how like I'm really didn't talk to any guys. And whenever guys come up and talk to me, you know, I always like flake on them or I never text them back. Like, if you listen to the last episode about boys, you get it. Like, we all know at this point I'm like extremely picky and I'm scared and I flake. And so I was literally talking to her about this, and as I'm like walking by the architecture school, which is right next to my dorm building at UMiami, I walk past this like guy, and so I smile at him because, you know, when you like make eye contact with someone and you're walking by, you just kind of smile, just like be nice. And I just continued walking, so I smile at him and I walk past him, and all of a sudden I hear, "You're gonna smile but you're not gonna say hi." And I was like, is he mad at me right now? I was so confused. I was like, what? And he was like, "You smiled but you didn't say hi." And I was like, hello? Like, to set the picture for you, I still had my bathing suit on, so I threw my clothes on top of it. I'm in like a baggy t-shirt and shorts. My mascara, because I got in the pool, so my mascara is like smeared. My hair is like soaking wet and ratty, right? Like, my face is dry because the chlorine dries out my skin. I look like a wet rat. Like, I look gross. So this guy comes up to me, this attractive man, like tall, built, like attractive, comes up and starts talking to me. And I'm like, girl, why is there someone behind me? Like, who are you talking to right now? And I'm on the phone with my mom. He's like, oh, are you on the phone? I'm like, oh, I'm on the phone with my friend. So my mom's like hearing this, and she's just like, oh, you need to let me go. And I'm like, okay. So I hang up the phone, and he was like, oh, I didn't want to mess up like ruin your conversation. I was like, oh no, it was just my mom. And he was like, I thought it was just your friend. And I was like, oh. I was like, oh, I definitely lied. No, I was just like, oh, sorry, no, my mom's my friend. I don't know why I lied and said it was my friend. Anyways, so he's like coming up to me, and he was like asking me all these questions about myself. This man was literally just walking on the side of the street, and now he's like talking to me about how he was pre-med. He was just helping his friend with an architecture project. He's a senior. He was asking me all these questions about myself. He was like flexing, talking about how he worked out the gym. He was like flexing his arms. And then he like was like, oh, flex your arm. I don't even fucking know what he was saying. So I like flexed my arm. Obviously, like, I have no muscle. So it was so embarrassing because he was touching my arm, and he was like, oh. And I was like, that's so awkward. But I feel like you guys don't understand how random this was. Like, I'm just walking on the phone with my mom. I smile, and he just decides he's gonna start a whole ass conversation with me because I smiled at him. Like, I don't know if this is like a normal thing for him. Like, he does this all the time, but like, this is not normal for me. Like, men don't just stop and talk to me. Like, especially when I look like after swim practice, they don't just stop and talk to me. So this was extremely like out of pocket. And then he starts talking about how we should swim together sometime because I told him I just came from swim practice and he said he used to do swim. And then he asked for my number. So I gave it to him. And at first, like, I just called it. Like, I just called my number. And then he was like, oh, it didn't work. So he, like, asked me again to put it in, like, his contacts. And now we're texting. And I'm just like, what's going on? Because this never happens to me. Like, the girlies might be listening to this right now and be like, this is normal. Like, this is normal for me. Like, if you're a pretty girl, you have pretty girl privilege, like, you might get this a lot. Like, you might go out and guys just come up and talk to you on the side of the road. I don't fucking know. This never happens to me, right? Like, I go out with my friends, I go to bars, guys never come up and talk to me. You know, I'm here for my friends. I'm here to hang out with my friends. I never use Snapchat. We all know this. I don't even have a full best friends list. I never use dating apps like Tinder or whatever. I don't fucking use those. Like, I go out to hang out with my girlfriends. I never go up to guys. Guys never come up to me. Guys never initiate conversation with me. So the fact that this attractive man came up and started a conversation with me, I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, I thought I was being pranked. Like, I was like, where's the fucking cameras? What, like, John Quinones from What Would You Do? Where are you? Because I was like waiting for it. And then he asked if I wanted to come over, and I was like, ooh, because you all know whenever a guy asks me to come over, immediately, like, that's the end of it. Like, I end it there because we all know that I'm not a hookup girly, right? I'm a relationship girly. Sorry about it. And so I never will just go over to a guy's house because, like, especially at the University of Miami, hot men generally don't want a relationship, right? They just want to hook up and then never talk to you again. And I'm not like that, right? Like, I'm always like, okay, Bree, let's remember how much I want to share on the internet. I have to know the person first, right? Let's just say that. So this is like, so immediately when he asked if I want to come over, I'm like, ooh, okay, so we're never going to talk again because that's just how I am. And I'm like, but I had a good reason. I was like, oh, like, I'm literally soaking wet. I'm in my bathing suit right now. I need to go change. And then he was like, okay, well, maybe we'll hang later. And I was thinking to myself, gonna film a podcast, but we'll see. So he's like, so this is happening right now. This is happening right the fuck now. He's been texting me. He hasn't texted me back yet. I was checking my phone. But, what is going on? What is going on? I really hope that he's, like, a nice guy. Because I feel like, what, okay, if you're a guy and you're listening to this, tell me. Because what hot guy stops a girl who looks like a fucking wet rat on the side of the road and then, like, asks her to come over? Like, he obviously just wants to hook up, right? Like, I'm not crazy, right? I don't know how this works. This isn't, like, a normal thing that happens to me, right? Like, this never happens. I don't know what else to say about it. Like, I feel like this happens to my friends all the time. When we go out, like, especially, like, to frats, guys are always coming up to my friends at frats and starting conversations with them. This never happens to me. Guys don't like me. Sorry, but it's true. Like, guys don't really like me, and I'm fine with that. Like, I'm just, like, living my life. Like, I'm Bree Fish, the fuck. Like, my standards are so high anyways. Even if they did like me, I would just be like, whatever. But recently, like, the tides are changing. Like, this guy, when I was in Key West, which we'll get to, he, like, asked for my number, asked me to come over. Obviously, I didn't because I get scared. I added him on Snap, but he never added me back, so I'm pretty sure he just wanted to hook up. And when he realized that I wasn't going to, he stopped texting me, which, like, whatever. But the fact that he, like, initiated texting me, asking me to come over, and, like, was, like, actually, like, trying to, like, get to know me as a person, like, that never happens. So I don't know, like, what's in the air, what's in the water. The winds are changing, the tides are changing, like Venus is fucking rising, Mars is gonna explode, the sun's gonna explode. I don't know what's going on, but something's happening. Something's happening. Someone is like manifesting this for me out there in the world. One of y'all, I know you're manifesting this for me right now, and you're such a real queen for that because I'm so confused. I'm so confused. I don't know if I think it might be the corset. I think it's the corset because it's like low key I'm slaying in this corset. I think I need to just wear corsets like every day. I was talking to my mom in Key West. I like sent her a picture of my outfit, which was this corset, and then she was like, "Oh my gosh, you look so good." And I was like, "I know, queen." And she was like, "You need to wear corsets under all of your shirts forever and ever." And I was like, "Bye, that's so funny." Then she told me I should start a lingerie line, which is also so funny. Imagine starting Hot Girls Can't Drive podcast lingerie line. Like, imagine. That would be so funny. Um Anyways, so that, I'm sorry, but then we need to talk about that because actually what's going on. But let's get back on track. Okay, Halloweekend. Well, today was Halloween. I seriously think like fucking the Salem witches are coming back to like haunt me or something. I don't even know what's going on. But going back, rewinding to this weekend because that was like Halloweekend, right? Like everyone went out this weekend. So let's talk about Friday, right? So Friday, I dressed up as Cinderella. I went out with my friends Gabby, Charlotte, Raquel, and Cameron. And most U Miami students leave like Friday morning to drive down to Key West because Key West has this thing called Fantasy Fest, which is basically like there's a street in Key West called Duval Street, and all these like old people dress up in crazy outfits, and there's this like huge parade, and all the U Miami students go down, and it's such a weird vibe because it's literally just U Miami students and old people that dress. Well, they don't dress in anything. Like, the amount of naked old people I saw in Key West was insane. Because all of these old people walk around in, like, literally, like, pasties, boobs out, right? Like, men are just, like, full-on naked. I feel like I need to go, like, rinse my eyes out with holy water after being in Key West. It was insane. And the vibe is literally just U Miami students who come down for Halloween and old people. It's so weird. But anyways, most U Miami students, they get a hotel for 2 nights, Friday night, Saturday night, right? They drive down Friday morning, they do whatever Friday, go out Friday night, Saturday they go to Darty's, go out Saturday night, and then leave Sunday morning. Like, that's a normal thing. But I hadn't planned on going to Key West. So not much is happening on campus if you don't go to Key West, which is why it's like everyone feels pressure to go to Key West for Halloween because all the frats and the sororities go down there. So none of the frats throw, and it's just not much is happening on campus. Anyway, so I wasn't going to go down to Key West because it was too expensive for me. Like, I couldn't afford to go down there because most hotels were like, it was gonna be like $300 a person for like one night. I was like, fuck no. So I went out with Charlotte, Raquel, Gabby, and Cameron. And we were gonna go to this like mansion party that all the freshmen were posting about. And by the time we like pre-gamed and we Ubered to the mansion, it had gotten shut down. It was so funny because it was like all these freshmen walking around in Halloween costumes on the side of the street in this like really fancy ass community, which I was kind of disappointed because I kind of just wanted like a house tour. Like, I wanted to pull up to a mansion. It was like on the water. I was like, this is kind of pretty. I kind of want to just go check it out because I'm nosy. But anyways, by the time we got there, it was shut down. So we went back to where Charlotte and Cameron live, and we like were trying to figure out what to do. And at this point, it's like really late for me. It was like 12:45. That's late for me. Okay, like I'm usually leaving the function by like 1:30 at the latest. Anyways, we decided to go to this bar in Wynwood called Racket. Girl, bye if you're from Miami. Don't roast me right now. There was literally nothing else to do. So we pull up Racket and Ratchet Racket. It's called that for a reason. It was very interesting. And it was fun. I literally was joking with my friends because Saturday morning when I woke up, my lower back was sore from like dancing so much. So that was really funny. And anyways, that was whatever. We went out. We got back around 3:30, which was crazy because I had work at 9 a.m. Saturday morning. So that was really rough for me. And literally, like, Saturday morning, my friend Gabby, who I went out with, texted me and was like, my roommates and I want to go to Key West. we were looking at hotels for like tonight, Saturday night, and they've all like the ones that haven't booked up, the prices significantly dropped because nobody had booked them, and it was like same day bookings. So she was like, "Can we just pull up?" And I was like, I'm spontaneous, so I was like, okay. So we literally, I get off work at 12:31. We're in my car driving down to Key West. Literally the most last minute thing ever. I like threw my Halloween costume and like some extra clothes and my makeup, my straightener in a suitcase, and we left. Most spontaneous thing ever. We get there and the place ends up being a little bit more expensive than I was hoping for, which for someone who is not financially stable like myself, and I'm always constantly stressed about money, that was a little scary, but it worked out. We got there and like literally immediately saw you Miami students. Key West is such like a nice drive because it's so pretty, because the Keys, like the water is so pretty, but Key West is always all the way at the end, and there's only one like lane that goes all the way down the Keys, and the speed limit is like 55. So if you get a slow person in front of you, it takes for fucking ever to get down to the Keys, because it's a slow, like the speed limit is low, like it should have been 65, and it's only one lane, so it's painful. Like it was a painful 3 hours for me, but we made it down there. We got ready in our hotel room. It was that was the other thing. It was such a nice hotel room because we originally just booked, like, we thought it was going to be a normal hotel room with like, 2 beds, like, and that was it. And maybe like a little kitchenette. But when we got there, the only thing that they had left was this like nice ass suite because no one else had booked it. So it was like 2 floors, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a whole like living area. It was so nice. We could have fit like 80 people in this place, I'm telling you. So we're at this like, it was like a nice ass resort. I was like, bye, can I just live here forever? It had like 4 pools. It was so nice. So we're all like calling like our friends, and I called my mom and I was like, what is even happening right now? Like, how am I in Key West? And there were so many, like I said, there were so many Miami students like staying in this like hotel area, this hotel with us too. I don't even know if it was a hotel. It was kind of like a resort. So anyways, we like get ready. We go out. It's like 8 p.m. because we had heard that people go out early. Not true, but we had heard that. So we're just like walking around Duval Street, and immediately boobs everywhere, naked old guys everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck? I was dressed. This is conservative. The fact that you can't see my boobs makes this conservative, because that's how crazy the people, like the old people at Key West at Fantasy Fest, were dressed. It was insane. And there was like a parade going by, and they were throwing beads at us. So I got like so many beads. I got these fun little sunnies. They were broken, but it's still fun, right? And it was so crazy. So anyways, we get there, we get chicken tenders, we walk around, and then we're like, there's no one here, so let's just go back to the place, because the place was only like 1.5 miles away from Duval Street, which is where like all the bars are. So we just go back to our room for a little bit, we recoup, and then we go back out again, and now all the Miami students are there. So we go to this like one bar, which is like where all the Miami students are, and we're just like, hanging out, talking. I saw so many people I knew. It was so much fun. And by the time I get back to the hotel room, it's like 3 something, and I am wiped out. Like, I immediately got back, got changed. I turned on Harry Potter, because Harry Potter, and we all know I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, right? Gryffindors unite. I love Harry Potter. So we're all just sitting there watching Harry Potter. I'm eating my ramen noodles, and this guy that I met at the bar that we were just at texts me, and he's like, do you want to, well, he FaceTimes me from his Uber, and he's like, do you want to come over? And I'm like, go by, I'm eating ramen right now, I'm in my sweatshirt, like, no, I don't want to come over, I'm comfortable. So I tell him no. And he was really cute too, but I was just like, at this point, first of all, we all know, like I said before, I really don't like that scares me. I get a little scared, and I'm also really picky, and calling me alone in an Uber going 40 minutes away from Duval Street, that just gave me an ick for some reason. I was like, no, I don't want to come over. But I had given him, he gave me his number, so I guess at one point I did like him. Like, I thought he was attractive. But I was just like, no. I would literally send him a picture of me eating ramen. I was like, no, I'm eating ramen. I'm not even lying right now. And so then he like he followed me on Instagram, and he was like texting me like, "Oh, I'm glad you got back home safe." But da da da. So I thought that we were gonna like keep texting afterwards, like just because I couldn't come over that one time. So I added him on Snap, guys. I added this man on Snap. We all know I don't use Snap. I added him on Snap, and he never added me back. But he still liked my Instagram post from Halloweekend. So I don't really know what the fuck that's about. But I think maybe he listened to Hot Girls Can't Drive. Maybe he was like, oh, he probably did listen to it. Sorry I'm talking shit about you. Nobody knows who you are though, so I think it's fine. What was I even saying? Oh, yeah, so then he never added me back, and then he never texted me back, and I was like, okay, rude. He literally told me where he lives. I could go all psycho crazy bitch and pull up, but I'm not like that. I'm not like that anymore. I've changed. So, anyways, yeah, so nothing ever came of that. And then, so now the guy happening today, I'm just like, bye, two men that have actually texted me back after the function. This is crazy. Well, tonight it wasn't even a function. I was literally just walking on the side of the road. But like usually I don't text them back, or they realize that I don't want to just hook up with them and never talk to them again. So then they don't text me back. It's either one or the other. So, anyways, yeah, I don't even know where I was going with this tangent. But that was Key West night. And then we woke up Sunday morning. We went down to the pool. It was so pretty. It was so pretty. And there was no one there because people had left early. And then we got Starbs and we went to Starbucks, and they had no sandwiches left. They had no food left. And I think it's because it was like one of the only Starbucks on the island. And I literally think it was because every single UMiami student went to that Starbucks in the morning. So it was funny because I was like, I usually get a tomato mozzarella sandwich, like if I want real food from Starbucks, but I had to get a grilled cheese because there wasn't any food left. And then it took us 3 hours to get to Key West, which is like the normal amount of time on Saturday morning. But because everyone was leaving Sunday when we were leaving, it took me 6 hours to drive from Key West to Miami. It was so painful. It was so painful because the traffic was so bad. So I don't know if I'll ever do that again. Key West was an experience. It was fun, but I don't know if I would do it again. Maybe like my senior year. I don't know if I'll go back next year. I say that now. I probably will, just because like there's nothing else to do on Halloween in Miami because literally everyone and their mother goes down to Key West. But like we just got lucky that we found this place that hadn't been booked last minute to go. But if you book, like you have to book these hotels like months ahead of time because so many kids book hotel rooms. It's like so hard to find one that are like affordable. And a lot of kids don't care because they're rich AF. Like a lot of kids that go to UMiami are rich. I'm not. So it's hard for me because I'm like, I literally can't afford it. And this was definitely pricey. Like, it was more pricier than I thought it was going to be. So I'm hurting a little bit. My wallet's hurting a lot right now. But it's fine, whatever. I mean, it was fun. It was worth it. You only live once. That's why I told myself. I was like, I'm only in college for 4 years. So, like, I want to go do all this fun stuff now because then I'm going to graduate and I'm going to have a boring-ass job. And I want to have fun now, right? Hopefully I won't have a boring job. I feel like I'll have a fun job. I feel like I can't be Bree and have a boring job. Like, I would go crazy. I don't know. We'll see. So, that was my Halloweekend. I don't even know, like, what I'm supposed to say now because I feel like that was so much. I literally talk so fast. And I feel like that was so, like, all over the place. Sorry about it. Sorry if that was confusing. Like, you had to be there, if that makes sense. You had to be there to get, like, what I'm saying right now. Like, that's how crazy it was. But I'm, like, overall, I'm glad I went. If you're a freshman or, like, me or a sophomore, I really don't feel like you need to go, but obviously, like, you're going to want to go because everyone else is out, but especially as a freshman, you do not need to go. I don't know any freshmen, personally, that went. There were definitely some sophomores, but I saw a lot of juniors, and a lot of seniors there. But I definitely want to go back to Key West, like, not on Halloweekend, because it's, like, a really pretty town. Honestly, I love the Keys. That was my second time ever going. I'd never been to Key West before. I've been to Key Largo, which is closer, because when I got scuba certified last year, one of our dives was in Key Largo, and the water is so pretty. It's so pretty, and it's, like, not that far away. Like, obviously, it took me 6 hours to get back because literally every single UMiami student was leaving Key West on this one lane. So that was why it was so painful. But just like on a normal weekend, it really wasn't that bad. Like maybe I would go back for spring break or something. A lot of you Miami kids go to Bimini, if I'm pronouncing that right, in the Bahamas for spring break. I could really afford Key West, so I don't know how I would ever be able to pay to go to the Bahamas. So I'm definitely looking at maybe going back to the Keys for spring break. I had this whole plan for this podcast episode that I was gonna like talk about like my crazy Halloween stories growing up as a kid and like what costumes I dressed up as. But like this Halloween and honestly the past 2 weeks have been so insane for me. I feel like I'm literally forgetting to talk about things because actually like what's going on, like I feel like I stepped into like a twilight zone or something, and it's hard for me to like talk about this stuff in a way that makes sense to people who don't know me personally or who are not Miami students, because I forget that like low-key like a lot of people listen to this podcast that don't know me personally, so I really need to like remember to like lay out things in a way that makes sense, because I just assume that you guys are my best friends and all of you know my personality, exactly who I'm like, but then I'm like, oh, they definitely don't know who I am. So I'm definitely trying to get better at that. This was just crazy. I honestly don't know, like for this Sunday, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about now, because it's just like I feel like my life's going to be so boring next week compared to this week. But thanks so much for listening. I want to hear what your guys' Halloween costumes were, and if you guys had such a fun Halloween, let me know. And I will see you hopefully on Sunday. I know that my recording schedule has been so crazy, but it's honestly just because my life has just been so crazy lately, and I'm hoping after Thanksgiving it'll calm down. It probably won't though, because then I'll have finals. But we'll see. We'll see. We're getting through it. I'm getting through it. You're getting through it. I had a mental breakdown this morning. I cried a little bit, and then I cried about crying. But you know what? It's okay, because we're all going to be okay. We're all going to make it. And you're hot. Okay. Bye.